What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Madden 09 with the Cupcake franchise featuring the Austin Venom. Great to be here on what is the biggest episode so far this series. We get our very first offseason. So far, I've really enjoyed making the episodes in this series. I wanted just a ridiculous rebuild of my own here to work on, and we certainly have it here with the Venom. What a year one. What a journey that was. We made it through that first season, and now we're going to see where this team heads into the future. And we get our very first offseason, and that means that we're going to get the draft to upgrade this team. Now, because we went 0-16, the rules that I made for this series say that we can't make any free agent moves until we win our very first game. So we don't get to go in free agency and sign, a great wide receiver or a pass rusher or anything. That's not going to be happening for a while. Instead, we have to focus on the draft and getting the right 7 rookies to join this team. Keep in mind, I am also not allowing myself to make trades in this series, just because trade logic in Madden is pretty much bad in every game, and I'm not trying to take advantage of it. I want to earn everything in this series. Obviously, I love doing off-seasons. It's one of my favorite things about doing franchise content. The off-season is just a very special time in any series. And I got really excited when I was thinking about this off-season, and then got to think about Anton Greenberry, J.W. Unger, Tyrus Sparks. It's time to add a new chapter to the story of franchise-saving quarterbacks. Hopefully today. So with that, everybody, let's get into this offseason. It should be a really good time. When you get here in Madden 09, you have the ability to relocate your stadium, upgrade, and do all sorts of stuff here. I don't think I'll really be doing a whole lot. There are these sponsorships, but I know I'm not even going to be reaching those. I'm probably just going to avoid those for the most part. As far as finances, I guess we could take a look here at team income, and it still says that our ticket sales are above average. I really can't figure that out. I thought we would, be really bad for everything it tracks here, but hey, at least our entire team makes like less than Patrick Mahomes does in a season. So let's get to staffing. That's actually pretty important in this game, because this is back when Madden actually had coordinators, head coaches, and they all had a true impact on your team. So let's take a look at our available staff right now. So our head coach has been Dante Nash, and he doesn't have any boosts. Are you kidding me? Does anybody have a boost? No. So when you get a Cupcake team here, you get coaches that don't even have rating impact. Wow. You'll notice here, for every other coach, 3 ratings are getting better. And that's for 4 different coaches. We didn't have any. So we are about to fire everybody. I would love to see this system return to Madden. And I think instead of having rating impacts, which, are one way to go about it, I'd rather see impacts to development on certain players in certain positions. I always use the example of Mike Zimmer, who loves, getting defensive backs to mold in his defenses. And that's kind of his specialty as a coach, is developing DBs. So imagine in Madden 22, you have a coach, and having him gives a plus 15 or 20% boost to all secondary development. That's something that I think would really help Madden. So I haven't done most of this on my own before, but I think I'm just going to go with like the best options for things like the franchise scouts, $500K a year, why not? We have a scouting agency now. And let's look at finding us a new head coach. Now, I can take any coach here and I can offer them whatever position. So I can find a coordinator and say, no, that's going to be somebody I want to be a head coach. So what do we do here? Steve Walters will improve your wide receiver performance. We do need some of that. 2 wide receiver catching, that sounds incredible. I like Steve Walters a lot. Let's see the other coaches that are available. You can get a special teams coach as well in this game. You can get Jeff Fisher to help out your secondary. Oh, Bill Musgrave. Oh, man, those were the days. The Christian Ponder days when he was offensive coordinator. Gotta say, though, having those boosts there would be pretty nice. There are some other options for coaches that have good receiver boosts. We have Charlie Joyner and Henry Ellard. I know he played in the NFL a long time ago. So I think what we first have to think about is, what do we want improved? What positions need the most boost? And I'm thinking about mainly wide receiver and pass rusher. We had like no pass rush impact last season. We're gonna have to get there before anything on defense matters. And I think as far as offense goes, the big thing that held us back was just like receiver catching and everything else. Like, we're gonna have maybe one new receiver on the team this year, but we need to help out the other receivers that are gonna be returning from last year. Hugh Jackson has one of the best boosts for wide receiver. Should we make Hugh Jackson our newest head coach? You know what? I think this just makes way too much sense. Hugh Jackson, redemption. The 0-16 Browns, now the 0-16 Venom. We are giving Hugh Jackson a chance to become the head coach of the Austin Venom, and he will help out our receivers in the process. We're also going to hire an offensive coordinator to also help out the wide receivers and really try to get that on track this year. We're going heavy into that area. So we're also going to try to make Charlie Joyner our offensive coordinator. And let's go 3 years for him as well, matching Hugh Jackson's deal. Good start. Now for special teams coordinator, I'm not super worried about like getting a really good coordinator because special teams is just so easy. I'm actually more interested probably in a coach that helps out other positions here, like John Tice. I wonder if it'll let me just hire Henry Ellard as the special teams coordinator. Oh, so we have 3 coaches now helping out the wide receivers. Okay, that's one way to go about it. I don't need someone to coach the kicker. How many extra points did we even attempt last year? How many field goals? We're just going all in on receiver right now. And now we'll actually hire a defensive coordinator to help out, hopefully some pass rush. If I can, I want defensive tackle boost, because left end is only half the edge rushers, right end is only half, but defensive tackle, that's going to be guaranteed 2 starters. So we have to go with the numbers there, the volume. Receivers, we play more receivers than almost any other position. Defensive tackles, you got 2 starters. I think that's the right way to approach it. Looks like our best option here for helping out our defensive tackles will be Jay Hayes. Defensive tackle tackling, defensive tackle power move with some right end finesse moves. That'll work for me. We're going 3 years on all these offers here, hoping that this is the staff to start turning this team around. Now that we've taken care of our coaching staff, everybody, we get to begin the offseason. I forget if this is the stage where we get to see player progression. That's what I'm really excited to see, because we're going to return most of our players. We have to. We also have to sign a lot of them still, but we'll figure that out later on. Alright, the offseason is now underway. We start out here retirements. Can't imagine anybody is retiring from our team. We have the youngest team in the league. But many other players around the league are retiring. Alright, let's go to re-signings. We still have to make sure I re-sign a bunch of players. But here is your Hall of Fame class for this year. I love this menu. Like the newer Madden games, they do have like Hall of Fame inductions, but they're so easy to miss. They don't throw it in front of you like this. Rodney Harrison, Isaac Bruce, Jeff Garcia, and Brad Johnson. How about that? And Warrick Dunn. I used to have a lot of fun with Warrick Dunn. When I first got into Madden 2001, Warrick Dunn was one of my favorite players in that game. So now he's a Hall of Famer. I'm not seeing player progression here at all. Like, I know it's somewhere in this game, but regardless, I have to basically sign everybody anyway. So I'm interested in what our salary is actually going to be. And I do have the restrictions for contracts down below in the description. So if I identify a player that I like, I'm not just going to sign them to a 7-year minimum deal and hope it all works out and they're just super cheap. Again, I'm not trying to cut the corners there. So I can't sign anybody to more than a 3-year deal until they've reached 80 overall. At that point, then it's okay to go and sign them to whatever I want. But there's at least that restriction. But I am signing players that I do believe in to 3-year deals. That's the maximum I'm allowing myself. So the offensive linemen, I feel really good about them. That's one area of the Cupcake template where you're not awful. You're bad in year 1, but all those players are young, and I'd say they're all equivalent to like top 3-round picks. For players like Chris Clemens, I'm not too sure about. I'll probably go with more of a 2-year approach, but I'm really not sure how fast I'm going to be able to replace players in this series, just because if I don't win, I'm limited to 7 draft picks, so I can make 7 upgrades. And that's not a lot. And because I have to prioritize certain positions, certain ones are going to be kind of forgotten. So this is just new for me to face a challenge like this and to have to figure out how to strategize given weird rules. I think for everybody else, I'm just going to go for 1-year contracts. Like, we might win a game this year and I can start to really reshape the roster. I know I'd have some dead money if I just sign these guys and then cut them after a year, but I'm still just going to try to play it kind of smart here. However, I will be signing Leon Daniels to a 3-year deal at least. Deal done. I do like Remington Hunter from a little bit that we saw, so I'll give him the 2-year deal, see if he can prove himself. And signing the final player. All right, everybody is under contract from year 1. I'll obviously be making 7 cuts at some point. I just don't know at what positions yet. So that stage is done. Oh, I have some more options now in the menus here. I wanted to take a look at something actually. The EA Sports Draft Board. Is this ranked? Is it what I think it is? All right. So they do have players ranked now. I didn't get access to this in the actual season. So obviously I've done my quarterback scouting. I have some quarterbacks that I like. John Spangler here is ranked number 1, but there are at least 3 quarterbacks who have top 5 grades here. I know we've done the scouting, I think, on all of the top players here. Oh, I can actually move them now. I wish that they allowed me to do this during the season when I need things to be a lot more organized, but oh well. This is super slow, though. I probably won't do a lot of that. But John Spangler, here is the number 1 ranked quarterback. He won't have too much trouble with injuries. He will not outrun defenders, but he has a small amount of juice, and he does have the 4.7 40 time, knows how to take something off, and shows great confidence in his touch. They grade arm strength and pass accuracy both as great. Seems like a really solid quarterback prospect. Bo Daniels doesn't have quite as good of a 40 time, still great arm strength and pass accuracy. Fumbles could be a problem. Also seems pretty solid. Dennis Battle, 4.6 40. He doesn't have great accuracy though, it's just good. So what's pretty interesting about this entire class is the top 5 players are apparently all quarterbacks. If we check this out, there are so many potential first round options. Now I had thought about, what if we go for another blue chip player in the first round and then try to come back for quarterback in the second? In a deep class like this, you might be able to consider it. I just don't know if I want to take that chance. Riddick Montana is somebody that I scouted. Above average arm strength, good accuracy. He is a better scrambling quarterback than the other ones I've scouted, but injuries could be a problem, it says here. The arm isn't going to be as good, so you have to consider that. I can't remember everybody that I scouted. I'm not even sure if like in-season scouting is super necessary, because I get a lot of information here, and I believe it's mostly accurate. But okay, if we weren't going to go quarterback in the first round, what would we do? There are some good running backs. I don't think going running back number 1 overall would be something I would consider. There are some good receivers. I would think maybe a pass rusher could potentially be worth it. But the way I look at the board right now and everything, I still think going quarterback #1 overall is the right call for us. There are a lot of running backs I like in this class, and running back is one of the more important positions to me. I like Kurt Bates. I like Avery Ball. I think he's my favorite, but unless he's taken in the first round, it won't matter. Plus, he's 24 years old. I have no idea how regression really is handled in this game compared to newer games, but 24 is the oldest rookie you're going to get in the game regardless. RJ Burton was somebody I scouted. I loved his skill set here, but he's also a first-round prospect. So will all these running backs really go that early? Someone's got to be there at 33 that we can get on this team that's going to make an impact. And right now my philosophy is I want to go all in on offense right now, because it doesn't really matter what we hold opponents to at the moment. We are allowing a lot of 40-point games, 30-point games. Does it really matter if we hold teams to like 26? We got to put points on the board. Offense first. So my top priorities are a quarterback, a running back, and a receiver. Those might be our first 3 picks. And then focus on defense. So no, we cannot make a contract offer here to Chad Johnson. It's just not gonna happen. And it's not like he has much interest in us to begin with. So I've done some testing here. You can get some of these top guys, but also many of them will just have no interest in your team because they want to play for winners. Here we go. That's where it is. Player progression. All right, Sylvester Truman got a +5 boost, everybody. Let's see the best boost on the team. I think it's going to be 5. All right, we got a couple 5s here. Our punter got a +5. That's excellent news. He played a ton last season. He better get +5. Set the record for most punts in a season, I'm pretty sure. We had some players also get worse. So, like, players that don't really play at all, probably not getting a lot of development. You really got to get on the field, and I like this development system overall. So Geno, +5 for Geno Harris. That means +3 throw power, +3 throw accuracy, but obviously we're looking to replace Geno. Let's look at a player who's going to be returning here, Roderick Moore. I was hoping for more than +2, considering he played so much. Speed is up 2, that's really good. Catching up 1. It's not enough to, like, really change the game or anything, but it's nice to get these boosts. But obviously, we're going to have to make meaningful upgrades in the draft to really go anywhere. Then you had Deron Nelson going +2 and Steve Pruitt, who didn't play. Nothing happened. Zach Kendall, +5 for him at fullback. Good to see all that playing time paid off for him. And then wide receiver, 1 for O'Donnell. Our #1 receiver gets +1. I just wanted to see some catching upgrading, and we got a little bit. This is pretty slow upgrading, though. Oh, man. Truman, I mean, his boost is nice. The catching is up. That's really good. But, man, just other positions I was hoping would get a lot better. The offensive line, some players got pretty good boosts. I thought that Holt and Bryan would get more boosts. They're our best players, and they got the worst boosts out of all the starting linemen. Actually, yeah, I think that's how it checks out. I forgot who I played at right tackle last year. Derek Barton here at N +2. Percy Chapman +4. Okay, that's big. So the speed is up a little bit, the strength as well, and his pass rush moves are already super high, but hopefully we can start getting something out of this 99 finesse moves. Last year, we got 3 sacks out of Percy. D-tackle's pretty weak on this team. I'm imagining I'll want to draft a defensive tackle this year. Like, just laying out the blueprint, I want to go quarterback, running back, receiver, not necessarily in that order. I'd also like a defensive tackle, and I think a safety, and a linebacker. So, we'll just see what I'm able to do here. I'm trying to make the best impact I can, given just a few picks. Denard Sloan has 90 speed? Wow. I just had the brief thought of moving him to wide receiver, but we'll probably keep him here at corner. This is really good. And he was obviously our top performer this year. So it's great to see him get the +4 and some meaningful boosts. That's big time. Now, if you want to see the development for teams that aren't 0-16, here's what it looks like for the Cowboys. Looks like a lot of their players didn't get much development. You got some, +1s in there. Not a ton, actually. How about the Dolphins? That's pretty good. +6 for a good offensive lineman. +4 for Ted Ginn. 99 speed. So there are some players getting solid boosts. Not everybody's getting better. A lot of players are really staying the same, which is a bit surprising to me. Well, we have to advance through free agency now, and we can't do anything. Just 30 days of watching other teams attempt to get better. Well, we don't. Wait, what is this? Your offer below to Matt Gutierrez has been withdrawn? I didn't try to sign anybody to begin with. I hope that it's not like simming signings for me. If we signed anybody, I'd just cut them. But it shouldn't be doing any sort of signing for me. Why are we trying to sign these backup quarterbacks? Tyler Thigpen. Signing him would have resulted in the Venom exceeding the salary cap. Excuse me? Oh, so it is offering contracts. I just don't have to sign anybody. So I'm obviously saying no. I don't know what's going on, but it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, the game is just like offering a million contracts. When our roster's basically full, I don't really understand why. I don't think I have anything set to like CPU controlling this, so it's a little weird. Doesn't appear that anybody was actually added to the roster or anything, but here's how the overalls look now, and we certainly have, some players getting up there now. Mid to high 70s. The O-line is in really good shape. And then we have Truman, Chapman. So, looks like we're at the draft, everybody. It's showtime. Oh, well, that would do it right there. All right. I don't know how that all got set to CPU, but now don't have to worry about it. Time to advance to the NFL draft, everybody. This is what it's all about. This is what the offseason comes down to for us. We only get the draft, and here we are. The clock is ticking. The Venom are on the clock, everybody. I don't think I can actually pause the timer in this game, but I'm given the full 10 minutes. So, very sim experience there, I guess. I don't think we have to spend a whole lot of time thinking about this one here. I think going quarterback right away is the right call for us, and I think John Spangler is the quarterback that this team needs. First pick in team history. The rebuild hopefully begins right now. We went Anton Greenberry, J.W. Unger, Tyrus Sparks. Can John Spangler join them? Welcome to the Austin Venom. And there you go. The first pick in team history. We can see ratings after these rookies are signed, but not anytime prior. And I would be just fine if in the future they removed that stat screen from Madden when you draft players. Like, seeing their ratings as soon as they're taken. I mean, it's exciting, it's kind of fun, but that's not what I optimize for. I want realism. All right, so we're gonna do some simming now. It looks like Dennis Battle just went. Or no, he's available. The Bears picked number 2, and they went with Bo Daniels. So they also went with a quarterback at the very top. And then it looks like another quarterback off the board. So right away, young quarterbacks entering our league. Oh, wait a minute. Things are moving along quicker than I expected here. So there's the ticker down below. Bo Daniels went number 2. Then Patrick McCormick, linebacker from Arkansas. Okay. Following him, Dennis Battle. And now the Texans, I think, just made their selection. Avery Ball. They went with the running back I liked a lot, so I gotta cross him off. Literally, because I did make a list. Oh, I forgot I could do this comparison card. Oh, man. A trade. The Buccaneers just moved up. What are they gonna do with it? Gus Ziegler is drafted. Oh, the Bucks are on the clock now. I'm just getting used to this draft system. It's a little confusing. But for John Spangler, comparison to Matt Moore. You know, Matt Moore won a Super Bowl ring last season. He had to start a little bit for that team. And he's been in the league for a long time, and he's had a pretty solid career. So that's John Spangler's comparison. Bo Daniels was compared to Drew Brees. How about J.J. Beasley? Tom Brady. How about Dennis Battle? Also Tom Brady. So the quarterback we drafted, he wasn't compared to Tom Brady or Drew Brees. We'll have to see. Maybe the comparison is just, you know, not giving him enough credit. I love to see one of the great running backs in this class, though, fall to pick number 2 for us. I literally cannot accept that. But man, I would if I could. Riddick Montana was taken by Kansas City. There are so many first-round quarterbacks in this class. All right, let's continue on. Kurt Bates continues to slide. He's projected a top 10 pick, and he is still available at pick 18. The Packers just took Roger Culberson, a linebacker, and Bates' slide continues into the 20s. Come on, he's got to make it to 33, though. That's a long way to fall, and the Seahawks take him. Seattle gets Kurt Bates. I still like R.J. Burton a lot. He's still available, right? Or was he taken? I don't see him anywhere. Oh, Burton already went. I'm not sure when he got drafted. His comparison was Steven Jackson. I would have liked that a lot. How's receiver looking? I know there were some receivers I liked a lot. I do remember Ty Little. I remember scouting him compared to Randy Moss. All right, the speed. Ty Little could make a big difference. I don't know if I'm going receiver or running back with my next pick, but I'm pretty much guaranteeing it's going to be a skill player. Someone's getting the football. We're getting real close here, everybody. Oliver Brackens continues to fall until New England drafts him. So I'm feeling like receiver might be best for us. We're on the clock now, pick 33. We've taken John Spangler. Who's our second pick? We could go linebacker here with Daryl Easley, but I just don't think it's the right call right now. Shane Dexter has the Randy Moss comparison as well. Shane Dexter. High catching, high speed. Doesn't show an injury history here. I wonder if I have to scout players to acquire that information. Like the manual in-season scouting. Because there are players I definitely did scout. Alright, so Ricky Serra has a history here with a concussion. Most players don't have an injury history here for me. Alright, so here at running back, I had written down a couple other names here. Is Alex Sidney available? No, he's nowhere to be seen. Alright, so let's take a look at these receivers. Shane Dexter. You can count on him to be out there the entire season. Has the leaping ability to get to the jump ball like Joe Horn. So we're already comparing him to Joe Horn and Randy Moss. Pretty high expectations. Shifty receiver who has proper shake to escape the jam. Shows the acceleration needed to run past defenders. His interview was good. Here's Zachary Lane. Excellent hands with proper arm extension. Productive downfield receiver with electrifying speed. All these receivers in this tier have great speed. Interview was good. Middle of the pack when it comes to injuries. Natural athlete. Next up, Ty Little. Middle of the pack when it comes to injuries. Solid receiver. Room for improvement. His vertical is good. I don't know that I like his scouting report enough. I feel good about Dexter's so far. Ricky Doss. The moves to make the initial tackler miss. Interview was good. Productive downfield. Good quickness. I'm kind of thinking here like Shane Dexter is the right move for us. Dexter again compared to Randy Moss. We know Dexter has outstanding speed. We know he has the leaping ability. He's shifty. Hopefully he has good catching. What does the little thing show here? Catching looks like it's gonna be good. Shane Dexter is the pick. Quarterback, wide receiver combos, first and second round. Sometimes it's done in reverse, like AJ Green, Andy Dalton were in the same draft. But that's what we're doing right there. John Spangler, Shane Dexter. What do you think of that start? All right, from here, I think we're going to start simulating to user picks. And I think we'll have less time on the clock for these ones as well. I think it becomes a 7-minute timer now. We're going round 3, everybody. Zachary Lane is still available if you wanted to double up at receiver. But if we want to go running back now, here are the options. We have Brock Platt, Cameron Brady, Blake Kirkland, BB Cross, Aaron Mays, Corey Dillon, and then Rondell Buss. Has an aggressive blocking nature and is quick to pick up the blitz. Improvise when the hole is clogged, shifty. Maintains concentration to make catches in traffic. Explosive runner. Brock Platt sounds pretty good to me. Here's BB Cross, who has the good 40 time here. He shows courage running up the middle and fights through injuries. Lateral agility. He might as well be a fullback. He can block so well. And he runs 4.34. Hits the holes with authority and has above average field vision. Ball security has been a problem for Blake Kirkland. Cameron Brady, effective blocker, struggles to play through injuries. So I think it's either Platt or Cross. Cross had the better 40 time, Platt the better shuttle and 3-cone, and more bench reps. Cross had the better vertical, Platt is younger. They're both very similar in height and weight. For comparisons, Brock Platt compared to Adrian Peterson. All right, we can get, comparisons to Randy Moss and Adrian Peterson this year. BB Cross also compared to Adrian Peterson. Oh man, I don't know. This is tough. But I have a couple minutes. I want to see what else is out there. Daryl Easley. First, second round projection, he's still there? A true warrior at a historically gutsy position. Downhill quickly, shows the range to make plays in long pursuit. He runs 4.5. Good bench reps, only 21. Oh, he could be the leader of our defense. Oh man, will the running backs be there in the 4th round? Because this is so hard to pass on. I think we're going Daryl Easley here. I just can't pass. Hopefully a running back is there in the 4th round. So we switch up the plans just a little bit because of the value. I wanted to take a linebacker. If this is even close to being correct, 81, 80, 76, that would be an amazing start to the rebuild. All right, let's go 4th round. Please tell me we can still draft a running back with an Adrian Peterson comparison. There were so many running backs already taken. They gotta fall, right? They can't all go early. Wait, I'm confused here. We have 3 players. Why is it still showing we're in the 2nd round? And then it sim past the 3rd. Did it simulate a trade up or something? Cause now it's the 5th round. What happened? I didn't make any trades. Did the game do it for me? So we've gotten 3 outstanding players I think it traded up our 3rd and 4th picks. I guess I can't sim that. Alright, well I guess we're getting 6 rookies instead of 7. Alright. Kind of weird. I don't know how it did that. I'll have to watch an editing to see if I can spot where it went wrong, but I think it was just the simming that put us on the clock. There isn't a single available running back? Are you kidding me? Could I take a receiver and move them to running back? Alright, this is getting weird. We may not be able to make the upgrade there now. Come on. Oh, well, I guess the show goes on. We just gotta figure it out here. I think we'll start to maybe focus a little bit on the defensive side of things. We do have a few picks to make here. DeJuan Quick, 6'7", 286 compared to Charles Grant. Orlando Lambert here. 4'7", 40. Might want to add a pass rusher here, but I should probably go defensive tackle if there is a tackle available here. 5th rounders are here. Dez Crawford, Xavier McAllister. Crawford lacks the proper arm technique to stalk, wrap, and secure. Very effective at flushing the quarterback out. So probably a better pass rusher than run stopper. There's also safety I wanted to think about here. Robert Montana. Above average acceleration. He ran 4.47. He could be a kick returner even. Above average awareness and playmaking instincts. Great leaping ability and timing skills. We're going to go Robert Montana here in the 5th round. And now it better not trade up. I'm just going to do the 1 pick at a time, slow simming here to make sure it doesn't mess that up. Alright, Venom back on the clock here in the 6th round now. Obviously, I can't go with a running back. I'm thinking about a receiver just to play running back, to try and get somebody with some speed there to develop, and that might be what I do with our last pick. But I think I'm going to go defensive tackle here. Will Logan is available. Walt Sawyer. Maybe there's a defensive end that could slide to tackle. Chris Sanders here. Or maybe just play him at end. 12 reps is pretty low. Probably looking at a pass rusher here. One-dimensional player. But we really need some of that pass rush. Fast enough to drop back in pass coverage. Durability is a concern. I'm not liking a lot of these defensive tackle prospects now. I don't know how much of an upgrade they'll be, but it is one of the worst positions on the roster. So I think I am going to take Will Logan here. And hopefully he can at least be a good run defender. But let's get to the 7th round now and try to make our last selection count. Alright, time to make our final pick of the day, and I think it is going to be a receiver that I plan to hopefully move to another spot. We have 4 options here. I obviously want to add some speed. They all have at least a 4.47 40 time. Best 3 cone belongs to Wesley Nielsen. If you want some strength there, Elijah Jackson does have 14 reps. If you work on his hands in training camp, he will be great. Very hard to contain after the catch. We had his vertical right is in the middle of the pack. Decent 40 time, shifty. Compared to Santonio Holmes. Tyrone Horton, meanwhile, 4.38. Tendency to bobble the pigskin. Work on his catching. Alright, good kick returner. He can create space. I kind of think I just want to go with Jackson here because he does have some strength as well. And if he's going to play running back, he's going to need some of that. I like his scouting report. Elijah Jackson's our final pick. And that should bring us to the end of the draft. The draft is complete, everybody. What did you think about it? I am pretty happy with how this draft played out, outside of the weird situation that led us to make 2 second-round picks. Again, I don't want trading to be a part of this series. I guess I'll have to just manually sim all those picks so the CPU doesn't step in and start trying to do things for me. So maybe we got one player that we shouldn't have, but we also only had a 6-player draft class as a result. So we addressed most of the positions I wanted to. The rules I have for rookies are actually, I can do 4 years or less to match what you typically see in the NFL, although we don't get 5th-year options here or anything, can't imagine. So I'm just going to go 4-year offer for John Spangler, and looks like the deal is done. I'll just do 4 years here for everybody. Hopefully it works out. All right, everybody is signed and the roster appears to be set. We're on to a new season, everybody, with 6 new players on the team. Let's get to know the rookies. Well, here toward the top. This is a really good start. John Spangler, everybody. First overall draft pick out of Troy. He's an 81 overall with 66 speed, a little bit slower than I thought he'd have. 90 throw power, 85 throw accuracy, 74 injury, however. Oh no, let's hope that doesn't become a huge problem. But the throwing ratings are everything that we would want. John Spangler is our new quarterback. We also got him a brand new #1 wide receiver, Shane Dexter. 91 speed. He's also a 76 overall. Agility, acceleration, solid. Catching, 84. That's best on the team already. 88 jumping as well. Very good. All right, a new quarterback receiver combo. We got linebacker Daryl Easley now in the middle. And he's an 80 overall with 81 speed. Does he have some cover ability? Looks like he certainly does. He can do it all in the middle. We got players to build around now, everybody. Welcome, Daryl Easley. We also selected Robert Montana, who's already ranked our #1 safety. Robert Montana is a 69 overall with 83 speed, which is pretty good for this team. But overall, it's not great. 80 tackle, though. 71 pursuit. Okay coverage on day 1. 51 injury. Could become a problem, though. That's really low. We also took defensive tackle Will Logan, who is ranked the 2nd best D tackle on the team. He'll likely play as a rookie quite a bit. He has 77 block shed. A lot of those ratings look pretty good. Strength is 80, but really, really low athleticism there with the speed, acceleration, agility. We'll just have to see if he can stop the run. And finally, in the 7th round, a player I hope to move positions, Elijah Jackson. 62 overall with 86 speed. So those 40 times really weren't much of a help. 86 is not what I thought, but it's still solid for this team. He still fits running back, I think, pretty well. And I would like to consider moving him there, although would he not be one of our better receivers at the same time? But let's just see what happens here. If we move him to running back, we'll give him number 25. He's only a 55 overall there, but he does have some speed and some catching ability. Doesn't have, spin or juke, but we'll see if we can get him a good role here at running back. We'll just have to experiment. He was a 7th round pick. We'll see if it works out. But there is the team now. After a season of play, some development, and now 6 new rookies join the team. I still think it's going to be tough to get our first win, but we certainly have a much better shot now. The Geno Harris era is now over. It's time for John Spangler to take over. All right, the depth chart has been set, everybody. John Spangler will start. We'll see a lot of Shane Dexter as well. And Elijah Jackson, He's going to be our kick returner and punt returner and third down back. So we'll see if he can make an impact. He's going to have to do a lot there to continue getting the role. I know he doesn't really have good juke or spin or elusiveness, so I don't know if returning is going to work well for him, but we'll just have to experiment there. Defensively, we do have Logan, Easley, and Montana getting the starts. I might even move Montana to free safety for this year. We'll just have to see. We've made it, everybody, to a brand new year. A chance to start over with the Austin Venom. We have some improvements this year, but will they be enough to show that this team is better than the team we fielded in Season 1? Leave your thoughts on our very first offseason down below in the comment section. Let me know if you're hopeful that we can get our first win this year. And what are your expectations now going into a season, now that we have some real players to build around? Also, if you have any bold predictions for year one, now is a good time to share them. I will go through the comments and I will be sharing some of the more interesting ones when I am recording the next episode. So thank you all again. Thank you for your support. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave your feedback below. And I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day.